Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's been a little bit since we've seen each other. I am sorry that it's been the better part of the month. We're past our traditional halfway point in February. V-Day, as we know it, Valentine's Day was over the weekend, and there's some stuff to decode on that, actually, related to the title that you see, the Templars reset ritual tied into the Super Bowl. I had hoped to get the decode out shortly after the parade last week because I saw all of the stuff that we're going to go over by the time that the Super Bowl parade was commencing. And let's just say that, life got a little bit busy and I have my day job and broadcasting and filming schedules got the best of me. So here I am. I'll do a content blitz through the rest of the month for you guys over on Patreon because there's a lot happening with the reset ritual that we now have correctly predicted. Now the Super Bowl is behind us and we can see confirmation of the rituals that we decoded around the winter solstice. Then, we're very much in tune with where things are going. If you're unfamiliar with that video, you're going to want to come over to my Theta channel, is probably where a lot of the people are watching this live. And watch this video here that I did a few months back that decoded the winter solstice reset ritual that had to do with the banking reset. And then we've got another video I just completed as it pertains to the Templar ritual with the Super Bowl and what it portends for the Mayan reset calendar. And then, of course, if you haven't already done so, kind of a public service announcement, I am also over here on BitChute. These are all my original Patreon videos. So if you have never been a patron of mine, I have released all of my original up till this video, in fact, which I'm considering putting on public forums. I think you may find this on Theta, and I'll promote it on YouTube perhaps as well, just to point people toward what I'm doing with Patreon, because from this point forward, I'll be loading them onto Brighteon for the public or for the private channel members. And of course, you can come over to my Patreon page, and starting at the $5 level, you can also join the Discord server where you can access our community. I'll be going into a little bit of that more as we go through this video as well. But the last housekeeping item, you'll notice the bonus material where Allison Anchor, my beloved, was going to do some various bonus material content related to mindfulness, critical thinking, and all these. I will be picking this baton up throughout the rest of the year. She's got her hands full with the kids, so you can effectively look to me to provide you the regular, typical content like these presentations, but I'm going to start whiteboarding a little bit. I've got some stuff to teach you guys actually via the whiteboard, which will actually start building more foundational, useful, shorter videos, I think, for you guys to share pertaining to the V-steganography, which if you're coming to this for the first time tonight, just because you searched, or today, whenever you're watching the video, just because you may have searched Super Bowl decode or something like that, then this is our community. You can also, at the $15 level, access our Evernote research server, which I've got documents upon documents and books upon books uploaded to. We're going to access that in the presentation today, too. Typically, you can find my public-facing stuff over on YouTube, and we're going to expand on the financial reset situation with the silver squeeze, which I covered in this last video. So my whole purpose here, guys, is not to overburden you with, information, but actually to give you a primer on what you need to cover if you have not already done so coming into this video. Things are now going so quickly from this point forward, and from March onward, we're going to see such changes in the world that this video is just a confirmation of all that collected stuff that I shared with you. And what the mystery is about to reveal to us pertaining to our money reset, pertaining to what secrets are going to be revealed, of course, as it goes with our ancient space alien past, our Aryan bloodline and descendancy of the past with Mars associations. These are all hidden truths that humanity, as we know it, in its current state of mind, is going to be hard-pressed to accept. And it's because of the V steganography that we see it. Of course, the V representing the senses. We look beyond the senses to see the truths. We see this also clearly now. But for those, like I said, that are maybe coming to this, because I am going to put this on YouTube, and that haven't deeply dug into the Patreon stuff, before you proceed, you might want to give yourself a foundation, because these reset rituals I'm going to actually reference. We're actually going to reference a video I did here. Put myself over the top of this. This is actually the New Jerusalem video I highlighted over here on my Theta page that you can find if you're watching this over on Theta. Okay? And this is kind of where we're going to start the show, because it is really important, if you have not gone through this material yet, to get at least a little bit of a primer. So especially for those that have forgotten the main beats of that video. It's a 3.5 hour long thing, and that's where we're going to start today. Okay, so for those that are now coming back from, this is the demarcation point where hopefully you're getting back into the video after watching those. We are going to dive right in to, like I said, this video, which is the setup for our Super Bowl rituals. Numerology abound. There are things that we have been able to confirm relating back to this video, but I'm just going to play myself as a foreshadowing of the rest of what this video is going to foretell. And let's hear my words of wisdom circa 3 months back. Demarcation line for the sovereignty of the Mayflower Compact, the fifth month of the year, the 5-petaled flower. Talking about V-Days and the 5 connections. Remember, we just passed a V-Day ourselves, Valentine's Day, which actually is somewhat significant, we may find, with the later Super Bowl connected rituals. Venus, the Mayflower Compact for 2020. All of these are relevant to this ritual because of the banking reset, because of this World War II memorial pool that was built in 2005. This wasn't here before 2005. 25, 5 times 5. You reverse it, you get 52. Super Bowl 52, the banking collapse, 5.2 feet is a pace. And you have the Washington Monument on August 15th pointing directly to the center of the wall of this war memorial. And again, just kissing it, the World War II Washington Memorial. Where was this thing built, guys? You won't believe it. You won't believe it. This was at the site. They built on a World War II memorial at this site in 2005 onto a feature that was in the mall called the Rainbow Pool. Bix Weir's Road to Ruta Theory, everybody. If you have not subscribed to Bix Weir's channel, Road to Ruta, you will not know what the Rainbow Pool is. Those that are already aware of the banking reset and the collapse know what the Rainbow Pool is. Also see my video last year on the ritual of the Super Bowl halftime show, the one with J-Lo and Shakira. Has a lot to do with this. Somewhere over the rainbow, Wizard of Oz. We'll get into that later in the video too. And there's your connection to Oz and the banking reset. You're pointing at August 15th, one of the V-Days, the V-Day where we overcome Japan, the commemoration of these coins. And of course, I'm painting the picture that V-Days are always significant. We have several of them throughout the year. Victory Day, Valentine's Day, everything that we come to accept with our traditional, how do you say, Gregorian calendar system. There we go. That was the terminology I was looking for. Sorry, it was not coming easily to me. Is latent with all of these hidden landmines throughout the year, and things of significance always point to this. Of course, what I was saying with this is that the Templars are using this system in some sort of a way now. Liberty reigning, United States falling, money system getting reset, and what is it all related to? Rainbow riddle. Bix Weir's Road to Ruta Theory. Yeah, there it is. The Wizard and the Wizard of Oz. And all the rituals at the Super Bowl this last year, you got to watch this video. If this video here, the Silver Rig ritual and the Road to Ruta,
will tie all those concepts together quite nicely in terms of a background.
So
but
there's
the
another one for
rainbow
you to
pool,
watch.
just to show us even further how this is a banking collapse. What happens on May 7th, the other V-Day? Well, here's the World War II memorial, and it doesn't kiss the back wall. It contacts the entrance this time. So you have this memorial perfectly represented to touch the entrance of the memorial and the back wall of the memorial on both of the days that World War II, you can technically say World War II was won. One from Europe and one over Japan. Again, more reference points in 2020 to these coins and V-Day.
And the reset.
Yesterday. Veterans Day. Armistice Day is also Veterans Day.
There's another V-Day.
So that is non-coincidental. Non-coincidental is the whole point with this. This book is impeccably researched. Remember, the book that I was referencing here is actually right here. I have it again. American Nation of the Goddess, the Venus Families, and the Founding of the United States. That's the book that was the predominant resource for the research in this. And I do recommend a read on that as well. And
but, of course, why are we looking through all this, guys? Because the Super Bowl commercials, the Super Bowl ritual, everything I'm doing here is purposeful to the Super Bowl, okay? So keep your eyes peeled. It's just confirmation that we correctly called what the ritual was forecasting for us using the V steganography back at the solstice. It's all lining up. And it all means good things, I think, for us. So keep watching and keep your eyes peeled, and you'll see what I mean. These are just observations that the authors made, they themselves having their own intuition. The Phrygian cap is all over it. 2020. This is kind of a transition video, guys, from our space topics to ancient history, because the ancient history is how we get to space, I think. Oh, yeah.
We've got to understand all the memes around it. But do you see that 666 is to be paid attention to in terms of what the Bible's saying? Watch out for the mark of the beast. In my interpretation, 666 and the ritual of this monument is a clock itself that once we're done and once we click into the 21st of this year, that we're in the age of Leo. Of course, this is where my research diverges from most people's thinking about the age of Aquarius. Because of this book here, The Lost Star of Myth and Time, that goes back to some of my earliest videos. It's revealed in The Holy Science, which I also have, authored by Sri Yukteswar, who is the master of Paramahansa Yogananda, that we measure we measure our cosmic cycles falsely by the vernal equinox, the V. The false, the Maya. We measure by the vernal equinox. Instead, we should be measuring by the autumnal. This flip of demarcation or beginning just quite simply puts our perspective 180 degrees different. It doesn't change reality in any way. It changes our perception of it and means we're going into the age of Leo, not the age of Aquarius. We are going into a new age, but this is what is all behind the beast ritual and the 666 and what 666 means. I'll let myself continue. Lion is one of the great beasts. It's probably a mistake that we polarize the term the beast. It has nothing to do with Satan or Wetico. It's kind of a separate thing. And so if we can separate and remove those concepts, we can actually find where the deception is what I'm getting at here. It's just a flippin' number. It's got a frequency to it. And we'll see, and I'm going to show you next how else that's expressing itself now. Because a lot of people are looking to Donald Trump as the answer for a lot of things. Pay attention from here on out with the numerology components. This, I'll give you a hint, is where you want to really hone your focus for later in our presentation today.
But there's also this whole, I came across a thread the other day where they're saying he himself is the Antichrist. And I'm saying, okay, well, what's going on here? And in the video, the MAGA, Make America Great Again slogan was being used as the sole piece of contextual evidence to suggest that he was satanic and the Antichrist himself. Remember, Antichrist is just an energy. It's not a person. And the reason this is bunk, I think, is because, well, she goes to the in the video. This is somebody I won't name because I like her a lot, and I don't want to denigrate on her. She's just, I think she's backwards in her thinking. She shows that on the Church of Satan's website, which I don't really even want to go to because it's just the Church of Satan. Now, go look it up yourself if you want to. There are five levels. 5 levels. Remember, they're all about the 5 too, the reverse of the Baphometic pentagram. And in the 5 levels, and the V steganography, V and the Roman numerals, of course. V is 5. V is the 5 senses. V is the number of man, the number of digits on your hand. All these things portend. V is the 5th element of the ether. It's the misunderstanding of what reality is, what lies beyond our senses of the 5. Okay? Crash course. Again, hopefully this is all sticking for newbies. We're just going on a kind of a crash course with this stuff, but we'll continue to lay this foundation and get to the heart of what you're seeing there with McKinney and the 234 pages relating to the 666. Matters to the Templar ritual at the Super Bowl. You know, what do you call them? Degrees, just like in Masonry. They have the degrees of graduation. The 5th degree is the MAGA, or the Magus, they call themselves. The MAGA or the Magus. And just like the Veni Vidi Vici that we opened up the video with, it's my contention that MAGA is a spell to be used against that energy, the reverse energy, right? MAGA is a spell to be used against those titular Maguses from, the Church of Satan. Just because MAGA lines up doesn't necessarily mean it is a corollary. Because that was the question mark we very much had hanging last time. Remember, I'm not really sure how Veni Vidi Vici was being used, but now that I know that it's a bonding spell, the Make America Great Again, by restoring liberty, the United States is not what makes America great. Remember, the Eagles got you. What makes America great is liberty. So in the slogan, it's taking back the power of the glyphs of MAGA. It's just a glyph, right? So if you can counteract that spell, make America great again, you turn it in, you nerf the edges off of that, and that's what's happening here, I think. Whether Donald Trump will be the president or not, I don't think he will be. He's... Boom. I was right again. Are you guys seeing how all this interpretation of the spells are lining up? The breakup of the United States. The Satan component plays in to this later on as well. I'll show you. And why a lot of people are misunderstanding some of the numerology around the Super Bowl. But of course, us, looking beyond our own senses through the V-steganography, we can see what's being said. So I'll let this go for a couple more minutes. It's important that we get to the point where, and I may see if I can fast forward even on the video, because I covered everything I had to with that component. And I think the very next piece, that Kaylee McKinney story, plays in here. But let's see here. I got to get to the... What we have to do is get to the 4 seasons. If you guys remember, there was the 4 seasons. Here it is right here. This, clearing away of the old. What is the 4 seasons of this administration? All right. So here, guys, here was where the 234 with Kaylee McKinney with the 432, this 4 Seasons hotel. It was supposed to be at a 4 Seasons hotel, but they ended up at this 4 Seasons landscaping, if you guys saw this. Remember, this is big debacle about Rudy Giuliani missing the mark and, oh my God, scheduling nightmare. We were all standing out here in front of this building with the 432, registry code for hazardous materials and such is what these things indicate. But the point is 432 plus its palindrome 234 added together equals 666. And the 666 was all over the Washington Monument ritual, and it's all portending to cover the knowledge that is hidden underneath it, which is all 66 is. And we had Rudy Giuliani with this story that was apparently, botched. And there's this hose right here that this guy's is standing in front of. There's a fire extinguisher here. And if you can see, there's a missing
2, 3, 4, 4.
There's a missing, something that used to be a button or something here on an outlet. So here I'm explaining this. I'll let myself explain it real quickly, and then that's going to hang for a second. That's going to hang for a second, guys, because we've got to go back to the other parts of the presentation. But this part's going to come back, and you'll see again. I'm purposefully setting the stage for everything related to the Super Bowl and the numerology and the confirmations of what we guessed at here. Again, the conclusions of this video that I am showing were that the monetary reset was about to occur, the breakup of the United States, that the states would become sovereign again, these types of things. Libertarianism would rule. The federal government would fall. Things like Bitcoin would be established as part of this rollout, part of this transition to a harder money system. I also showed how Bitcoin is a very Templar-esque design in its execution for how Templars have always decentralized money with ciphers. So the Templars are at the heart of this. They're again the serpents and the eagles, Templars and Jesuits, wizards and sorcerers, Jedi and Sith. This is the back and forth that we see from our Martian brothers. I'll let myself continue.
432.
This happened as well on the same day as the Kayleigh McKinney. As the Kayleigh McKinney press conference is what I was saying.
Seasons, total landscaping facility is where Rudy Giuliani was lauded because, oh my God, we meant to book it at the Four Seasons Hotel, but we had to. But instead, our press booker booked us in front of this landscaping facility at the Four Seasons Landscaping Building. Four Seasons Landscaping. Think about this: clearing away of the old. What is landscaping? Clearing away of the old. The turning of the seasons like a wheel. The turning of the seasons like a wheel, like a revolution. Revolutionary War.
If anybody knows where I stand on revolution right now as well, I'm actually now toying with the idea of recognition over revolution, just as kind of an afterthought. I'm playing with that because overall revolution, it needn't occur. We just need to recognize that everything is rotting and move away from it. Pretty easy revolution.
Fought not with weapons, but with information. This is the Revolutionary War of information.
There you go.
Not the Civil War of information. It's the turning of the wheel. The end of the fourth turning.
We're going to stop it right there. That's the setup, guys. These are the components that are pretty relevant to what I'm seeing, confirming all of the money stuff that we saw. We have yet to see a redesign of the rear of the coins, too. We're supposed to see a redesign of the tails of those coins. The silver squeeze, again, that I showed over here at the Game Stonk video, talking about what's going to happen with all of this. Well, we are also about to find out how this affects our lives moving forward in terms of the reset, okay? So we're going to talk about this as well in our past. And what does this have to do with the Super Bowl? There's a preamble. We're going to get into some magazines, Atlantis Rising magazines today, okay? On that front, we're also going to get into the Evernote server and expand, share a couple things that are over there. The Atlantis Rising magazine archive here. This is available for $15 Patreon members and above, but we're going to get into a couple of these. And the Pirate Templar connection. There's the Buccaneer ritual for the newcomers, right? But this, guys, this all has to do with, again, the Super Bowl. So, what are we dealing with here? Again, V steganography, Super Bowl 55, 5 and 5, 5 by 5. We've got the trump card rituals that we've talked about. We've got the 666 knowledge being hidden. We've got Atlantis rising. Atlantis and the Caribbean are one and the same. Tampa Bay faces the Caribbean. The Templars are the pirates that came here with the Jolly Roger, and the Jolly Roger is the sigil on the Vikings flag, or no, not the Vikings, the Buccaneers flag. The Vikings are pretty similar too, we'll find. But we're seeing these things, plus the financial reset, guys. So the expansion on this idea and all of the numerology we found in the Super Bowl pertains to the numbers 73 and 37 predominantly. And then we saw 62s all over this. We're going to reference some Zach Hubbard's work today as well, because it's real important that we look into some of that stuff in addition to our own, because he has locked into place the gematria components with the track record of certain numbers in gematria a lot better than we have the time to focus on, because we're so focused on pretty narrowly in that context V. Everything that V infers, okay? But with all of this in mind, we're starting with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers Super Bowl parade, okay? So here, I'm going to reload the page here. This ended up being something, actually, there's 21. There it is. That's what I wanted to get up. 21-second long clip. This ended up being something that was fairly talked about, almost more than the Super Bowl itself. And I was pretty certain that we'd find something in the parade afterward, which happened on February 10th. So this is, almost a week after the event. This is, again, when I wanted to do in order to go through this stuff with you guys, was decode what this all means, okay? So what you have here is Tom Brady. If you haven't seen the clip, we're going to go through this. He's sitting on the back of his own boat with his own family, and his daughter, Vivian, Vivi is what they call her. Seriously, Vivi, V-I-V-I is his daughter, and so she's sitting right next to him, and he's got the Lombardi trophy in his hand right here. There he is, and it's tossed across to the other boat. And this just made like national headlines. This was the greatest thing ever. This is his most relatable thing, right? And all I see is ritual, because 21-second long clip, the Lombardi trophy is made out of pure silver. So of course, how can you deny the connection now? We're talking about our silver short squeeze. And then you're going to toss a pure silver Lombardi trophy across the channel to the other boat and not see some sort of a ritualistic component to this, all right? So this made big news. And then the appearance of the WWE belt, of course, that was specifically made for these guys because of the connection to WrestleMania 37. I will connect you guys up, and then Bruce Arians, the Aryan piece of the ritual, right? Oh man. So, Nakala Moon is wondering if this is going to be on Patreon so you can watch later. Yes. And again, like I've told everybody, this is going to be the single video that bridges over to our new Patreon paradigm, I'll call it. And this is going to be a public one just to promote that's what we're doing. So you'll find this one on YouTube posted afterward too. Luckily, I've made sure we won't talk about anything that's going to get us banned over there necessarily. Just pointing back to the videos that otherwise would for you guys to watch otherwise. So anyway, we're gonna get this in the description line below so you guys can take a look at this. But this there's something to this, right? Obviously. And then we have at ABC 5 news station, there's some V steganography to this story, of course.
We'll see here.
Here's the video again.
Oh man. Oh. Wow.
Everybody goes nuts.
They got it.
And this clip was 38 seconds long. So there's a 21 and a 38. Of course, this is Tom Brady's 21st season in the NFL. Okay, that's why the 21 was significant on that time capture. The 38 is significant, you'll find, with the Victor Cruz death that happened just a couple of days ago. But the problem here, it seems, came from the negative Nancys over at Tiffany & Company, who created the thing. They were talking about this being a disgrace. This is, a lot of people are nervous about this moment. So Lorraine Myers, resident, told reporters, it just upset me that a trophy was disgraced and disrespected by being thrown as if it was a real football. She's the daughter of Greg Groves, the master silversmith at Tiffany & Company from 1967 to 1994, who crafted the very first Lombardi trophy. So this chick she's just pissed because her dad was the one that was the original silversmith that designed this thing, and now it's just being totally bastardized. Of course, Tom Brady passed for 201 yards in the game. There's another 21. But Tiffany & Company is coming into this silver reset, as we know, too. Tiffany Company, very famous for making things out of pure silver. So we have a lot going on with this Super Bowl ritual, okay? The collapse of the system. And to me, this being tossed, by the way, as if it were a play thing, indicates exactly that. It indicates that that's what we're dealing with, is fake silver system just being tossed around like it's a game. That's what the whole game stonk, silver squeeze, SLV contract delivery issue is, guys. It's a game. The game is rigged. The secrets are revealed now. The jig is up. Not only was this the first ever Super Bowl at home, it's the first ever Super Bowl parade that was on a boat parade. They usually do these on the streets. This is I'm saying that this may be, if things go south really quick, the ritual components of Super Bowl 51 through 55 are one story arc that we've seen for the financial collapse. We've gone over that several times on this channel. 52 and 55 are connected the most. But if the game is up, what does that mean for the NFL itself? If the jig is up, we're gonna find that there are so many connections that we can have pertaining to the WWE Wrestlemania rituals that are coming up here in just a couple of months, that may just reveal all of the secrets of the rigging of the NFL at the same time as the history secrets, at the same time as the financial secrets. What this Super Bowl is telling me is this big gaming ritual being confirmed, the tossing of the Lombardi Trophy. Okay, we're gonna go into some other components of this. Okay, Rich Eisen here has a show, and he's talking about this being Tom Brady's most memorable moment. There's some interesting numerology stuff going on, but we'll hear what Rich Eisen has to say, and I'm going to stop it, just under 6 minutes in. Funny enough, at 5 minutes and 55 seconds. But you guys take a look at what he's saying here. We'll stop and see what he's saying about this ritual. Again, ABC 5 was the coverage station down there. Another V steganography.
I don't think you need to look it up. I don't think it needs to be asked of NFL security. But I don't think proper handling of the Vince Lombardi Trophy is to flip it from boat to boat. That's not, usually what happens with it. Tom Brady did it yesterday. And even his daughter knows.
You guys see the tweet down there that says, "Dad, no"? That's Vivian. V-I-V-I. His daughter, Vivi. Some more V steganography for you saying that. And you know what? I've got to look up the gematria for that while this plays. I haven't even done that yet. I just realized I got to look up just the gematria for Dad, no.
His daughter knows. Dad, no. There you go. Even his daughter knows. Dad, no.
Interesting steganography on the dad, no.
It's the greatest thing I've ever seen. It's incredible. The most impressive pass of his career. Not touchdown 50 to Randy Moss. Not anything in the Super Bowl.
Not to pass the Jules against the Falcons.
Not the Edelman.
And thank goodness, based on all of the angles that we've seen, thank goodness for Cameron Brate, because I don't believe it was set up. I'm about to throw it. Who's going to get it?
No.
There's just so much pomp and circumstance going around this, isn't there, guys? Seriously. They're talking about this so much. All of this pomp and circumstance around this one moment. And, of course, the sports guys like Rich Eisen, they've always known this stuff is what it is. Are they being told now to go along with it, too? It's really interesting to me, the reactions of some of this stuff. So, anyway, I'll go back to it here.
No.
And Cameron Brate, I guess Brady, had a lot of completions to him this year. None more important than this one. That video that we have up there is from his girlfriend that...
Yeah. She DM'd it.
She DM'd it to us because
I posted it on our Instagram story, and she was like, cool, here's the whole thing without any words on it.
I mean, people have bucket lists. I want to catch a Lombardi from Brady.
Well, also, Rich, I watched a lot of these videos yesterday. I spent like an hour and a half. Apparently, and what I gathered was it was never said that was either a wide receiver or a tight end.
It was the hands boat?
It was the hands boat, yeah.
So all hands on deck on that boat?
Whoa.
Yeah,
I was watching.
It was the hands boat. The hands boat. The 5. There you go. Do you see that? They're giving it away. There's steganography on this. 55, the hands boat. Super Bowl 55. By the way, guys, check it out. Dad, no. 38 and 25. 38 we'll figure out again later in the stream in the presentation, but 25 is easy. 5x5 reverses 52. Interesting, to say the least. But there you go, the hands boat. Actually, you know what? We should do this live, too. What's hands boat? Hands boat. This may be nothing, but maybe something. There's nothing there. Well, actually, I think Cameron Brates is number 84. So that's interesting, actually. So there's something there. There's something to the ritual matchy-matchy of it. At very least, you can infer that. You can just see that the ritual component is there even deeper than we're interested in looking at. But anyway, let's go back to the feed.
And the one from Chris Godwin's wife. So she was just off to the left there behind Mike Evans.
Yes.
That's also on her Instagram story. I posted all of them.
It was insane. It was also like they didn't think Brady was going to actually do it.
Right.
When the trophy was in the air, you heard someone go, "Oh, bleep." Like, I better catch this.
There was a lot of bleeps.
Now, I will again say this. I've been fortunate to be around this trophy. It's 22 inches long. It weighs 7 pounds. It costs
22 inches long. 22 inches long. Just to show all you newbies that aren't V steganography nerds. V is the 22nd letter of the alphabet. V is 22. And 22 is all over, the Jesuit sorcerer faction as well. So to dispel, just like 666 to dispel and MAGA to dispel, 22 is being used against the typical V, the Maya, to dispel untruths, to uncover it. That's what we're living through right now, guys. It's a big reveal ritual. I'll let him continue. But 22, the 22 is on the trophy itself, and then you heard the hands boat for 55. Interesting what's happening here, isn't it?
$10,000.
$10,000.
Ah, yes, there it is.
There it is.
This was from Super Sunday. Having no idea that as this Michigan man on the screen was standing behind it.
Oh, you had no idea, Rich. You had no idea this would happen. Oh, I'm sure of it. I'm sure, bud.
Another Michigan man would be flipping it 3 days later from boat to boat. And it would be caught by tight end Cameron Brate.
Let's humor me right here. What's boat to boat?
something having fun with this stuff here. Boat to boat. Boat to boat. What do we got? 111. I think that's Bruce Arians. Let me see here. Yeah, it does. It matches up with Bruce Arians. Interesting. Boat to boat and Bruce Arians matchup. So, we got some stuff going on here, guys. I'm not going to go. This is what Zach Hubbard does, and we're going to cover what he does later in the stream. He does it way better than I do. But you're starting to see how this all is factored into the ritual and the Aryan past.
Catching the football, and I guess that's what he's trained to do. He's not trained to catch.
And remember, also, the Vesica Pisces itself is the shape of where the phallic symbol in America, the nation of the goddess, comes out of. The Vesica Pisces, the birth canal. It's a conception ritual for a new beginning. The football is the shape of a Vesica Pisces. We are in the middle of it, guys. Isn't it exciting? What else does Rich have to say here?
The stem, but he caught the football like two hands. Great job. Great snatch. Great
what's the big
grab.
Deal?
Oh my gosh!
One of
them gets paid to throw things. One of them gets paid to catch things. I still can't believe this happened.
It's perfect.
It's unbelievable. What, like a good 10 yards maybe?
Yeah,
right.
That was wide.
So
easy.
We saw this at the end of the show yesterday, and thanks.
So I have somebody, Meowry said, did you catch the streaker was holding up the victory hand sign? No, I knew there was a streaker, but I didn't catch that they were holding up the victory hand sign either. Very interesting. More V-steganography. I did catch the streaker, but I needed to mention it here because I didn't set up anything in my presentation for the streaker. I was just double checking there. But anyway, we have 2 more minutes, I think, left in about 2 more minutes. I think there's one more reveal here that they're going to talk about. But thanks for that ad real quick, Miari, over there on Theta. Keep going here.
To Don Bowie using some quick ingenuity and working his craft back there. I think he played it straight off of Twitter yesterday, just before truly this happened 5 minutes before we went off the air yesterday. So I'm glad that we were able to talk about it. And, I thought a lot about it as I saw throughout the day, more and more angles of it and whatever.
Amazing.
I thought what I think a lot of people were saying was, hey, just having fun. This is incredible. Tom's just being himself and whatever. But a little part of me was like, did he have something to drink? and are you on a boat party and it's a parade and it's sunny out and whatever and
all right,
Tom,
guys, check it out. There it is. There's one of the other drops. Do you see the W that he posts here? Vivi, his daughter, is 2 V's. Vivi, V-I-V-I. And then he's got the W here, 2 V's put together. V, 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 V for 55. What do you think about that? What do you think about that?
Was feeling it, and he was doing his usual, like he's now got a ritual with his friends, just
the QB boat right there.
Basically with his quarterbacks and just, shrug shoulders and count up. Now on the number of fingers, it's up to 7. Like he does it every year, and it's a ritual. And you're just maybe
does it every year, and it's a ritual.
And then
he does it every year, and it's a ritual. Well, see that what they say when all the guys talk about the ritual, they talk about the scripts. All these announcers and broadcasting guys, they know what's up. They'll let you know, too. Just like Rich is.
This video comes out. We have all been there and done that. And by that, I mean we've been the guy who is Brady, and we've been the guy who's handling Brady. We've been both. We've been the guy who needs to have help leaving the establishment and the event, and we've also been the guy who's helped a friend in need leave the establishment and the event. We've been there, done that, and all I can sit here and say is this is the mother of all cheat days for Tom Brady.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's fantastic. I know there were some, finger waggers or whatever, but wondering like, maybe there's could be a back way home or whatever. But I mean, I saw that and I said to myself, this may just be the most relatable moment Tom Brady has ever come up with, and he's had many of them. He's had many of them.
The most relatable moment's going to come in, guys.
His Twitter account had fun with it. and I whoever is handling his Twitter account on occasion for him, right? It couldn't be, because this person could not grab a phone. He couldn't walk, let alone come up with something irreverent to tweet out. Okay.
So that's where I'm going to link that video if you guys want to watch the whole thing, but it was only the first half of it that's relevant. The rest of it's kind of their bantering back and forth. But you guys see all these little drops they're putting in there with this little ritual, this V-steganography ritual for the banking reset. The silver game is almost up. Whoa, did he drop it? Oh, no, it's going to keep going for a little while longer. You got to remember the context of this, too. The silver rig ritual was going on with its delivery issues, and we're going to see that continue as we go into March here. But if you looked at the time it was happening, it was closer in time, of course, to the game stunk SLV squeeze deal that we covered already. So we're starting to see the setup here, right? Well, we all know the results of the Super Bowl. Tampa Bay won 31-9. But I also streamed the Super Bowl live. D-Live dinged me. Everybody knows D-Live dinged me. I don't have, I think, chat's still disabled over on D-Live. Because I streamed the Super Bowl, they slapped me on the wrist. So I think like in one more week, it becomes available again. They just put me on like probation or something. But we did at least do some of this live decode, and we saw the 73 and 37s all over this thing. Because remember, before the game, we also were wise to the fact that WrestleMania 37 was going to be happening 62 days later at the same venue on April 10th and 11th. There's your 111 again to match up with Bruce Arians. And, of course, what was the boat to boat? So we've got Hans Boat, V, Dad No, his most relatable moment, and Trump we've got up here. We'll build our gematria list out as the presentation goes as well. But this is the point, guys. This is where we were starting to see the 37s match up. We correctly guessed the Super Bowl. We all have been wise to the ritual. That's a preview of what's to come. We've all been wise to this ritual since about 10 or 11 months ago when we predicted that the Templars, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, would be in the Super Bowl. We're now just connecting the dots. And thanks to Zach Hubbard of Free to Find Truth, we were able to confirm with the best that we were right on track with our 73 finds. And he found a couple of more for us, too, connected with the 21. Remember how I just shared that 21-second clip with Tom Brady tossing the ball? Well, 73 is the 21st prime number. The 73 and 37 reverse aspects of each other all over this. So before we get going on that, another kind of housekeeping item, I started over on the Free to Find Truth blog, a Steganography and Symbolism Lab group. So Zach has a free community for people to go join. It's over here. It's called the Free to Find Truth. Well, here we go. The dashboard. No. This is like the WordPress thing. Freetofindtruth.com. There we go. And this is a community forum where you can go and you can find groups of other individuals in his community that have made subgroups. And, of course, there are different topics and stuff over here, but I created one for us, specifically for steganography, to cross-pollinate our knowledge of steganography with that of gematria, because it's honestly really good to go over there, probably
collaborate with these guys. There are a lot more people that understand gematria than steganography because it's a little bit more straightforward, but they do go hand in hand, as we've seen so many times with my work. So there is that kind of public service announcement I've got before we move on and watch some of Zach's stuff here, because I do want to collaborate with him if it all gets down to it in the future, you know. But here, funny enough, he's got a lot of 73s in here, 73 being the 21st prime. Tom Brady became 7-3 to conclude his 21st season, 7-3 in Super Bowls, of course. Brady came into the 2021 postseason with 73 touchdowns in the playoffs. I did not know that. That was cool. So the 21 postseason. Brady came into Super Bowl 55 with 7 TDs and 3 interceptions in the 2021 playoffs. I didn't know that one either. That's something that Zach has pointed out that I did not know. And then Bucks went up 7-3 early on or 3-7 with 37 seconds left in the first. We did see this one. We knew the Buccaneers equals 37 in gematria. We caught that, and we also caught this one while we were streaming the game. I also identified after the game myself that the Chiefs have now scored 73 points overall in Super Bowls. I didn't catch that the game was 7 months and 3 days after Tom Brady's mom's birthday. And so he's got some other stuff relating to Mahomes, the Royal Rumble, Yale grads. Some of this other stuff has to do with, Gisele's 73 questions interview with Vogue. That's a big one. Of course, Vogue with V steganography. We got his daughter Vivi, and we have Gisele, Tom Brady's wife, with 73 questions interview with with Vogue. So lots and lots of tidbits here, everybody. Okay, so how are we picking this apart? Well, let's leave it to Zach. I'm going to let him speak a little bit, but I think the numerology is going to speak for itself. The 37 with Wrestlemania, like we just showed, lining up right after this Templar home game, right on the shore of Atlantis, the Caribbean. I'm going to tie in, after he speaks here, some of the gematria findings into the overall tapestry that we know. Okay, so back to Zach.
For tonight's game, he came in with 80 touchdowns. That's because he had 7 touchdowns and 3 INTs.
This was recorded the day of the Super Bowl, right afterwards. So I was in on this stream as well, watching it live as it happened. But that's why he's talking in the present tense.
In the playoffs this year. So think about that. 7 touchdowns, 3 INTs heading into Super Bowl 55. And then, again, he started the playoffs on 73 postseason touchdowns. That's why I thought the Bucks would go up 7-3 early. You could also read the score 3-7 in Buccaneers equals 37. And did you notice when Gronkowski scored the touchdown to make it 3-7, there were 37 seconds on the clock? Like Buccaneers equals 37, and they won Super Bowl 37. You notice how they did that? It's amazing. And again, I can't explain to you how they script things so perfectly, but if you watch the live stream that I just did, which is 4 hours because it's the whole Super Bowl, but all throughout the game, I'm just pointing out what they're doing with the stats on the screen, what they're doing with the game clock, the ritual. And again, you can do this in every game when you have the knowledge. But remember, the Chiefs came into this game with 64 points scored in Super Bowls. Before tonight's game, the Chiefs had 64 points scored and 62 scored against them. Their last game was against the 49ers, which is 64 and 62. And, of course, Kansas City Chiefs is 64. And remember, last year when they won the Super Bowl, we liked the Chiefs because of the 64 ritual, because it was 64 weeks after Patrick Mahomes beat Len Dawson's 1964 touchdown.
So if you guys are watching this, of course, Zach, I think, correctly if I understood Zach too, I think he correctly picked Chiefs versus Tampa Bay. We were thinking in the V-Cypher community it was going to be Bills versus Tampa Bay at the same point in time, for all the reasons in the halftime show ritual from last year, and the silver reset. But we thought wrong. The Chiefs consumed the Bills. This made sense after it happened. But Zach's followers, as I understand, made out like bandits with the money they made on their bets. People were calling in this night with winning $20,000, $50,000. I've never attempted to make a dime off this knowledge. But if you guys really wanted...
Want to dive into this? This is kind of Zach's thing, and that's what his Patreon community is built around, is people in Vegas, basically.
But, down passing record, and that was the game where his girlfriend was at the game with her father, and her father dropped dead at the game where he beat the 64 touchdown passing record. Then 64 weeks later, he wins Super Bowl 54, bringing the Chiefs to 64 points scored. And remember, last year the Chiefs won with 31. This year they go down to the Bucs, who scored 31. But now, because the Chiefs came in with 64 and only scored 9 tonight, they're on 73 points scored in Super Bowls, you guys. The Chiefs now have 73 points scored in Super Bowls. Think about it. I mean, come on, 73, the 21st prime, Brady's 21st season, he goes to 7-3. You don't think this stuff's a perfect script? Tonight's game was 7 months and 3 days after Brady's mom's birthday. Look it up. Her birthday's the 4th of July. What a birthday, you know.
4th of July is 7-4, of course. So watch the rest of Zach's video, guys. That's the most I'm going to show. I just wanted to show all the 7-3 rituals, because the rest we found are on our own. A lot of the stuff that he goes through that video with is just confirmation to our own research using V very narrowly this year, and see how all of the V cipher insights have matched up so cleanly with what we've decoded about the Super Bowl ritual and the incoming rituals of the WWE. Here is a representation of what we were going over about this time last year. The banking reset is something I've seen for some time, and as it relates to the V ritual, I've been proving this stuff for about 18 months that this is the codec for it. The V cipher equals 81, 45, 108, and 36. Of course, V cipher itself, if you simply look at the sacred angles of nature as exist in the Pythagorean pentagram. I think I went too far. I definitely went too far. Right here, you get the 36 degrees, 72 degree, and 108. The V cipher itself is 36 degrees, 108 degrees. It's creating a V. It's basically the V cipher. If we go back up to our gematria, we're going to expand on these topics today and what the 45 and the 81 have to do with the wizard and the 36 and the Wizard of Oz. And look at all these 47s here. 7-4, 47. Tom Brady's mom's birthday being on July 4th. Time, gavel, judge. Judge and gavel, of course, go hand in hand. There's another 88-25 for you. Why don't we put those back? Why don't we just put those ones in to our own for judgment coming? The books being balanced. The judgment rituals of the reset. So far in our gematria, the gematria tables that we're building here, we've got the dad no. We have also got S4 Quattro Bob saying TB to CB. So Tom Brady to Cameron Brate. TB to CB equals 37, actually. Whoops. TB to CB equals 62 and 37. Wow, there's a 62 in that too. Yeah, we're gonna get to the 62s in a sec, but did not expect that. Hey, Sonic Alchemy, thanks for joining the stream. I'm also seeing everybody in the chat over on Theta trying to say silver. It does autocorrect to sliver because sliver used to be the name of Theta.tv. It's just a little like sleight of hand ritual in and of itself. I think it's hiding something in plain sight, literally, with Theta. Speaking wink, wink, wink to who's got, you know, who the Theta platform is being used by and for. You just can't say silver. I don't know why. It's never been the case. But anyway, we're starting to get our tables built here, guys. 25 is 5 times 5, of course. 38 is going to come up later in the video. We've also got our 47s, very important Masonic number, and Trump, which is 25 and 47, and then the 88, which is judge and gavel. And his most reliable moment, like Richard Eisen said about Tom Brady. Okay? So we're building our gematria table for the spell here, for all the significant glyphs that are being used. We'll populate this thing throughout the spread Vincent Jackson for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers is where the foreshadowing for the number 38 is going to come in. But we have some more fun stuff to watch here, essentially, before we get to this. We are going to watch a couple of other things that relate to our rituals that are kind of fun because of what we also do here in the community to decode with the V. If you guys see this, Bleacher Report does some things relating to, like, what do you call them? Adult Swim-esque cartoons. And the NFL guys, they call it something Heights. Oh, Gridiron Heights. But there's some gematria / numerology with Season 5, Episode 22, and Season 5, Episode 20, 52, and then 22, all having to do with the NFL playoffs and all of the rituals that we guessed he would be defeating the other quarterbacks and such with. So I'm going to let these things play too so we can pick out a little, some more things having to do with our reset ritual, and we'll go from there.
Yar! After killing me, what did you plan on doing next?
You know you don't have to lean into the whole pirate thing.
Can he attack?
What the hell? You're 43 years old.
You best start believing in goat stories, Mr. Rogers. You're in one.
See, it goes right through me, and that's the result of a healthy, pliable life.
So first and foremost, remember we've got Aaron Rodgers in the G for the Freemasons, and then up here, look what you've got tied up. You've got Drew Brees, Aaron Rodgers, and who did he beat? The Washington. I forget which quarterback he beat with Washington, but they're all legendary quarterbacks, right? And the Saints ritual. Should have had this pulled up. We've seen it so many times, though, I think that a lot of people aren't going to be surprised that I reference it. Here we go. No. The Bitcoin, the 1988 Economist cover of the magazine with the fleur-de-lis on top. Of course, the fleur-de-lis, I've pointed out, represents the reset component, and that the Templars would be beating the Saints, representing this fleur-de-lis. Burning down the old system, 10 cent, the 10-cent piece. I'm going to populate that in here, 10 cent. There's your 81, 36, and 108 to go right alongside the V cipher. 27 is also the number of Venus. Another 81, 18, 54, the reverse of 45. Yes. Starting to see how hopefully to the folks that are not new to the work, this is all just coming back to you. Year 0 was last year, the rise of the Phoenix. So this is the stuff, of course, that they're protracting here in this cartoon. Season 5, Episode 22, with the V-steg on it, of course. VV, 55. Another way you could read 522 is VV. VV, 55. Or a W, just like Tom Brady put.
I can't believe Brady took down all 3 of us legends.
Another uneventful season.
Look, if you think that you can just waltz in, okay, never mind.
You'll always remember the day you almost caught Patty Mahomes.
And then number 14 and number 17 here, with Patrick Mahomes just strolling through the season. And the 14 and the 17 come when we're talking about Oz itself. 14's, 17 is Q, of course. So we've got Oz being number 14 and the Q being number 17. And we've decoded that as part of this as well. These are very purposeful numbers being put up here in this little animated ritual itself.
Let's go.
No, I want it to hurt.
He could never love me like a #1 receiver. I'm just a lowly tight end.
Dang, Brady still's a cannon.
There once was a team, 'twas lost at sea. To there came a man named Tom Brady.
And enter the shanties. There's something to these shanties, guys. We're going to see this later on, too. Elon Musk loves the shanties. Elon Musk is all up into the Mars deal. Bitcoin is... the shanties have become a pervading theme throughout the Bitcoin community lately. The shanties make an appearance. This is important, too, to the Bitcoin reset ritual. It's a little nod to us of what's happening.
Winston, they began to win. Throw less picks, Tom, throw.
Soon may the Buccaneers win to remind ourselves of John Gruden. Sims, Garcia, and Josh Freeman, just let us have this one.
And you're sure young people like this?
Sea shanty's hot now.
Better not be messing with me. I do not want to look old.
Sea shanty's hot now. Sea shanty's hot now. So remind us of the times of John Gruden. John Gruden, remember, he also was the guy that won the last Buccaneers Super Bowl. But he also, only other team he's ever coached is the Raiders, the other skull and crossbones logo of the NFL. So there's a little nod there to the Jolly Roger and the Templar mysteries as well. Pretty funny stuff that the Bleacher Report here is putting in to their copy.
Who are you rooting for?
I just watch for the commercials.
Then welcome to Team State Farm.
Come on, that's DPI. Parlay. Okay, so I'm going with Evans under 60 yards and Godwin under 70. Excuse me?
When do you get old?
We'll never catch them. Their pirate ship has a football field.
We named the monkey Gronk.
Curse you, Tom. You'll never get away with going to a team with an already great offense.
Starting the season on the Jets.
It's me, controversial third receiver,
Scotty Miller.
Who the hell is that?
And
Dude, you're
14.
clearly Julian Edelman in disguise.
But no, why? Did Tom say something?
Don't.
And of course, the number 10. The number 10 is going to be something that I show you guys real quick here. Number 55. What are the properties of 55? Oh, I didn't get, I guess I'll have to pull it over here because it didn't pop up. It didn't want to. There we go. 55 is, the 10th Fibonacci and triangular number. Look at that. Look at that, guys. Also, 59 is the 17th prime number, okay? So there's going to be another 59 that I show you in the Super Bowl commercials when we get to those today. But 55, Super Bowl 55, and the number 10, X and V together again. 5 plus 5 equals 10. There are all these interrelationships with X and V. Of course, the hooked V as an exponent of X is a study that we've got to get into more today. That's some of the Templars' actual steganography on the artifacts that are out there for us to go digging up and such. But I digress. I'm just showing you guys more of what's shown in all of this hoopla surrounding the Super Bowl this year and how it's all related. All these media organizations and outfits are coordinating to put this stuff on.
Don't chase us, or I'll throw y'all in Ronald Jones' locker.
Some. The enemy's in charge of the ship.
Finally.
If I win without Belichick, I'll be free of the curse of the system QB.
Look, they gave me a sword.
You. Me? Oh, God, did I kill Patrick Mahomes?
I could probably get away with this.
Don't you see? I'm the new main football character.
This is my legacy.
I'm only 25.
You know there's 52 other players on the team, right?
He's now the main football character. He's now the main friggin' character. So they're poking holes in the actual reality of what football is. You're in a ghost story, right? You're in one.
52.
Wait, do you just think any number's funny?
Wow, Tom, you made it without me. I'm actually so proud of you. Come here, son. No, it's safe. Let's hug it out.
So, anyway, there is clip number one from Bleacher Report, okay? So the sea shanty thing, the Bitcoin reset, there's some numerology in there, but more importantly, it's showing all of the Wizard of Oz and PSYOP stuff that's beyond the V-steganography. Okay? Now there's another clip, though, that Bleacher Report did. Of course, that was the second one. This one came actually earlier in the playoffs, which is hilarious because Tom Brady reaches final form in the playoffs. This is kind of like Cell from Dragon Ball Z is what the Dragon Ball Z guys will find. We haven't even gotten to the Cell saga, and we're lagging. It would have been even cooler if we were watching the Cell saga with our Dragon Ball Z decodes right now. But this is what played.
At last, my final four. And now, I'm the perfect QB.
Really, at 43?
On the bus?
That 2017, though.
I can't let you get that 7th ring.
Again, more fleur-de-lis players. This is all about the fleur-de-lis and Brady in his final form beating the fleur-de-lis faction.
Tom.
Ow, my ribs. Oh, give me a few weeks.
Watch out! All Brady's weapons are number one options!
Well, I don't know if we're all exactly equal.
Attack!
13, 14, and 74.
Johnson. Now kneel before the ghost!
I'll never kneel! I mean for him. Look, I respect you guys so much.
Remember, kneel before the goat, Capricorn. The goat is Capricorn, the 10th zodiac sign. So there's another one of your 10s. The 10th zodiac sign.
I might be able to get a completion.
Let's check in around the league. Whee! Oh, you hate to see them leading with their head.
We could actually fucking win this thing.
I choose you, Jared Goff!
Goff. I already told you, nerds, I'm not doing this anime stuff.
But I don't have the arm strength. Every dumb little completion.
Oh no, Brady's ego is getting bigger. One of us has got to go!
Is this the afterlife?
Come talk on TV like one day a week forever.
So, kind of funny. 52. He blew up the old banking system basically in this. So we're seeing a whole bunch of these smaller rituals just in the form of these Bleacher Report things. Okay, it just keeps getting weirder too, guys. All right, so here are a couple other clips I'm going to show just to close this out. PNC Bank, our friends at PNC Bank, Bitcoin Orange and the Templar Trinity, and of course, if you are unfamiliar with this, I guess I just have to plug it. Go to the Patreon page, not Patreon page, my old Patreon videos. They're now public on BitChute, I should say, and watch the Winter Solstice follow-up video that couples with the one I've been mentioning on Theta. And this will talk much about the Templar reset ritual pertaining to PNC Bank and how they are related to the 55. And here we are with PNC being the very organization that sponsors this video. And what does the video say, essentially? Well, it's just Rob Gronkowski calls one of the greatest accomplishments in sports history.
It's just an unbelievable story. Just the first time ever, just a team going to the Super Bowl in their hometown. Just that story is just surreal. There's just so many storylines to this team this year, but I would say the most important storyline is just how everyone worked together from the team.
So you've got basically Rob Gronkowski going through these interviews, and this PNC produces these videos, several of them.
You know what? He's super
and Tom
excited
Brady,
because
PNC,
he
opens
feels
up about
so
his
good.
relationship with Gronkowski. One was on the 7th, one was on the 4th. Both significant ritual numbers. Okay. So this is the lead up to the Super Bowl. We've got all of these V-steganography components into the trappings of the potential, how do you call it? With all of the potential, the lineups of the V-steganography with the gematria. I'm struggling to find a way to characterize that, right? Because all I'm trying to do right now at this point is get us to the part where why does it matter? We've got the 73 rituals. We've got the 55 rituals. The banking reset is why it matters, guys. But I also want to share, again, that Mars is underlaying all of the money stuff. Once the money stuff falls away, so will the history mystery and what lays for the future of humanity after we get through all this stuff. Okay? So I'm going to fill out the rest of this gematria table before we move on. So I'm going to go back to this. And this is what we've got so far, right? If we recall back, we're going to borrow some of these terms again. Oz, wizard, Venus, hermetic. These things are all latent here as well within the structure of the spell rituals and the reset of the economy. So here are all these 81s, right? Well, let's start populating it with more of our terms. See what we start getting. Our classic reset. Oh, there's a 22 there, isn't there? And 67. That's how many points that the Kansas City Chiefs had going in to the playoffs. Just like Kansas City equals 67. Right? So you start typing in money for the money reset and Bitcoin and NFL. And Oz. Here we start to get back to the Oz. Wizard of Oz. Right? And then Caribbean. Pirates of the Caribbean. 55, 37, 62. Tampa Bay. 25, 47, 137. 137 is the 33rd prime number, of course. Buccaneers, you get 37 and 62. Tampa Bay Buccaneers, when you put it all together, equals 62. Secrets revealed equals 62. Celtic equals 52. There's the 38. So here's what we're starting to get here, guys. The Wizard of Oz, the rainbow ritual that we mentioned earlier on in the phallic Washington Monument DC ritual, has this 81 significance to it, and its significance hermetic Venus V cipher 10 cent, like in the Economist cover. Whoops. Making sure I'm not missing out on anything. Yeah, Frank Oz, Yoda. Yoda is 18, of course. These are all the Star Wars stuff that happened last year. But as you can see, Dad, no, 38. We're back up there with the Celtic 38. Why am I starting to go back to the secrets revealed in Celtic? Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Tampa Bay. Well, remember, guys, the Caribbean is Atlantis, part of the ancient empire of Atlantis. And the Celtic people are the serpent people, the serpent faction that broke away from the original Aryans, like Bruce Aryans, the Aryans from Mars. You can learn all about them in our history, Irish History of Civilization, which, of course, you can also get over on the Evernote server. This book is in the Evernote server. So the numbers that we want to look at that are significant are 52, 25. 5 times 5 is 25, and the reverse is 52, just like the banking reset ritual Super Bowl where the Eagles won. But guys, we have 62s with secrets revealed, 62 with Buccaneers, 62 with Tampa Bay Buccaneers, 62 with Wizard of Oz. And we also have, maybe that was, I thought there was another 62 we found in one of the newer ones. Yeah, maybe not. The reason why 62 is popping up, though, and why it's significant is because WrestleMania 37 and Super Bowl 55 are 62 days apart from each other. And what we have is April 11th and the 10th, 111 ritual, I think, that we're finding, being where we get the 2-day WrestleMania
ritual in and of itself is all I can really call it. And WrestleMania usually doesn't cover the span of 2 days. It usually is coverage of 1 day. But wherever you live in the world, you can write that in numerology of the 10th of April, which reduces to 14, or April 10th, which reduces to 4v1, just like Oz. It is the banking reset ritual of Oz coming apart, everybody. We are almost there. The Emerald City is upon us. We're breaking, go back and watch my old YouTube videos down here toward the Super Bowl of last year and watch this video right here, the Silver Rig Ritual, Road to Ruta, where I was adding some credence to Bix Weir's work and the videos that preceded it. And the numerology and the spells being cast to veil it all match up. So what's more is we'll start getting into the silver. Silver is 41 and 77. We remember Beskar Steel. Beskar Steel is what represented the silver in the Mandalorian series, and we get the 36, reverse of 81 in 18, and then the 72. Okay, so that's the Lombardi trophy, right? Lombardi just equals 74 and 38 and 52, interestingly, but when you add the trophy to it, you get 77, just like silver, which the Lombardi trophy is made out of. But there's another 38. Tom Brady's mother's birthday on the 4th. What do we get with hidden history? Just like Secrets Revealed, another 77. Market collapse. 52, 151, 227. 22 divided by 7 is pi. And then in 83, the reverse of 38. 151 is important because, as you will find, oh, maybe not. I forgot that this isn't coming up. It's the 36th prime number is what 151 is the 36th prime number. So you've got 52. The market's collapsing, right? Around silver. Bristol, which is where the Bristol Motor Speedway is located on 151 Highway Drive. Templar is 41 and 104. And then let's not forget Tiffany and Tiffany & Co. 55 and another 62. With Tiffany & Co., let's not forget, they were all pissed off. The daughter was all pissed off about the ritual. So it's all a tapestry, guys. I mean, we can go through this and point out all the Pythagorean significance to the spell. Look at the Tiffany & Co. as it even relates to V cipher, Hermetic, Venus, 10 cent. S4 Quattro Bob even found another 62 in TB to CB, another 62 in Tiffany & Co. So I don't even think that this even touches the iceberg either. I mean, I can't go through all day and keep doing gematria like Zach does. The V-cipher stuff goes deeper than just gematria itself, of course. But with all those stories that we just lined up, guys, I hope you guys saw and all the hoopla around it, all these numbers are coming out. And the commercials now are going to tie some of this back together. So now we're going to get into some of the stuff that I went and saw when we got back into the commercials. And this is going to blow your mind. It certainly blew mine. I got railroaded. No pun intended on one of these things, as you'll see. No pun intended with the railroading. But how do I present this stuff? Making the transition from the gematria over to what I'm about to share isn't that big of a stretch, but we are switching to symbology, and one of the reasons why I brought up the Four Seasons landscaping fiasco from earlier, when we looked at this video, and I was looking at the Four Seasons landscaping, if we all recall, the end of the fourth turning. So we have in here in the fourth turning, it was like it was a sociology book built around economic distress, social distress, where we're in. Let me just find there it is. I needed to find the image for you again. I think I actually put what I'll do. 4 seasons. I love that I always do this. I at very least always give myself a leg up by linking this stuff. Here it is, 4 Seasons Landscaping. So here it is, guys, the 4 Seasons Landscaping story that I was covering earlier in this video here, and what we're going to bring up. Remember the 432 plus 234 with Kayleigh McKinney's 234-page document surrounding the election fraud. And we've got this, remember the hallmarks here. We've got this fire extinguisher. We've got the hoses this guy's standing in front of, this window here. And then we've got this light switch. And I'm just pointing these things out again because what you'll see pretty soon is going to make sense. But I'll keep you on the edge of your seat until then. How about that? Here we go. We're going to go over to, nope. Where are we? I guess we're here. Yes. Sorry about that. All my different screens and stuff I was switching between. This is why I am getting used to the new setup, as it were. Anyway, this is an interesting Super Bowl commercial. There are only a few of them. 2 Michelob commercials and 2 other ones are the only ones that had significance this year. And that's what else was crazy to me. Everything else was basically just a throwaway commercial. And that in itself, it was kind of telling to me that the Super Bowl commercials have lost their edge and the adpocalypse is actually a real thing. And that the sorcerer's ability to cast spells via advertising has probably gone away after this year. But there was this Squarespace ad for one, and Dolly Parton at the end of it it went from 9 to 5 to 5 to 9 to 5 to 9. And the 59 has something to do, of course, well, and of course I have to come back here, put Satan in there too, because remember the Satan, the 55 and the 10, to use this to dispel Wetico, to dispel Satan, you have to reverse it, you have to neutralize it, you have to integrate it, to integrate your Wetico. So literally our secrets from Super Bowl 55, secrets revealed, are hidden behind the Saturnian past. That's the other component I guess I forgot to set up properly for everybody. So anyway, here we go. The 5 to 9 thing has to do with that whole component. But the 2 Michelob ads start here, and they'll have particular significance to looking past the V and the senses, and you'll see why here in a sec. So I'll just let these play.
Superstars. Who knows what goes through their minds when the stakes are this high? When their legacy is on the line.
Sometimes you just want a hard seltzer.
A hard seltzer with no carbs.
With no sugar.
Because who needs that? I want a hard seltzer. That's USDA certified organic.
With no artificial aftertaste.
But in a world where most things seem real, sometimes they're not.
Don Cheadle.
Man, get off my boat.
That's fair.
New Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer is real. And it tastes that way. You're not real. You almost fooled me. Lookalikes. Phony.
New Michelob Ultra Organic Seltzer.
So if you guys aren't noticing, those are all lookalikes of Sylvester Stallone and Megan Fox. They're false. They look the same, and it had everybody fooled, right? But Don Cheadle comes in and gets rid of his doppelganger. That's the V. That's the trick, right? That's the Hollywood. That's the play. That's the misdirection. That's the deception. And Michelob's got this ribbon as their logo. And then the tie into Dragon Ball Z I always think of is the RR, the Red Ribbon Army, when I see stuff like this. Because it is necessarily the red ribbons that come down off of this in their actual logo. These are just colorized for this seltzer thing. But that was the first little V thing. I was like, oh, that's kind of lame. It's just a little tiny one. But then the next one persisted after this. They had 2
Real as it tastes. Oh, and I'm not Christopher Walken.
Oh, yeah, there's an Asian guy.
What if we were wrong this whole time?
And then they have the actual stars on the next one. So what if we were wrong this whole time? It begins.
Wrong in thinking that joy happens only at the end. After the sacrifice. After the commitment. After the win. What if happiness has always been there, fueling the run toward greatness? It's not a distraction, but instead, something more vital. What if joy is the whole game, not just the end game? So ask yourself, are you happy because you win? Or do you win because you're happy?
Can I kick it?
It's only worth it if you enjoy it. So oddly enough, it's funny that the ribbon, and I don't know what this is all about with these Michelob commercials, but it's like weird. Look past, the message was almost sound, oddly. Look past the fakery in reality, be happy. Of course, it's an ad. They're associating happiness with drinking beer. I mean, at the end of the day. But if you strip away the beer connotation itself, the message is actually almost kind of sound. So I thought that interesting that those were tied together. And I was pretty disappointed up until that point because actually I thought that I wasn't going to find anything else in the Super Bowl commercials beyond this. You guys are probably all like, what the heck? This is actually pretty weak sauce. And you're right. This is just like a warm-up. I will reveal that stuff in a second. I'm just going to attend to the chat here. Sonic Alchemy came in. Keep it coming. Amazing. Okay. Must have been talking to he must have been speaking to the gematria as I was laying all that stuff out. I know he likes all that. Hey, Laura, 444. Thanks for joining the stream. And, of course, we've got 4 people over in D-Live. Sorry to the D-Livers, because chat doesn't work over there. I got slapped on the wrist for streaming said Super Bowl last week. And so my chat functionality is disabled for some time longer. But anyway, now we're going back to the Super Bowl commercials. Now it's where it gets weird. And I have to find the Mountain Dew commercial. The Mountain Dew commercial is the next one that is significant in any sort of way. These were all really dumb, really dumb, really dumb. God, the commercials were so dumb this year. Here it is. You guys might be able to see why this one is on the list right away. Okay? 33, he starts off by saying, this, of course, is John Cena. This is John Cena. For those that are not familiar with John Cena, he is a wrestler in the WWE. Okay? This is next year, Arlington. I thought I had something from John Cena up here. Did not have him up here. Anyway, he's a wrestler in the WWE. He is a connection to our 37s and 73s and WrestleMania Super Bowl connection, of course. So we'll go back to him. But 33. There's your classic Freemason number. He starts off by saying 33. What is this? What is he talking about here? You got a pink screen. Got Hollywood.
34, 35. Hi, I'm John Cena.
So he stops at 35. And he says, and I know how to count.
And I know how to count. In fact, knowing how to count could change your life on Super Bowl Sunday.
Knowing how to count can change your life on Super Bowl Sunday. Is that a reflection of the numerology that's embedded into it? Maybe. Let's see what he says about the counting. This is the first interesting thing that came about in the entire Super Bowl run of commercials. I think it was also coincident, as you see, as he says this, it was at the 22-minute mark of the entire run of commercials, which was, I thought, pretty funny.
Like, help you win $1 million. If you count all the bottles of delicious Mountain Dew Major Melon, our new watermelon flavor, in our commercial. $37, $38, $39, 39.
37, 38, 39.
Don't think you're an...
Bam. Did you guys catch that? I hope you guys caught that. He went from 35, skipped 36, skipped 36. 151 is the 36th prime number. 36 is 666. Yeah, that's because of it being the triangular number. 6 plus 30. If you add up 1 plus 2 plus 3 plus 4 plus 5 plus 6 plus 7 plus 8 plus 9 plus 10, all the way through 36, it equals 666. So that's what the triangular number is for 36. So he skipped it. And then he starts then with 37, 38, 39. And we already know the Super Bowl was already about the number 37. We're already starting to see the 38s come about. In the intermediary period between the Super Bowl 55 and WrestleMania 37, of which John Cena may be participating. I guess what I also need to do is put him into the Gemotrinator. I forgot to put him in there. John Cena. Oh, John Cena's another 38. John Cena is another 38. Look at that. Wouldn't you know it? Wouldn't you know it? What does Mountain Dew? Oh, Mountain Dew is a 59. Just like the 529, which was the commercial like the Dolly Parton was on. Anyway. So, that's the setup here. 37, 38, 39. Learning how to count could change your life on Super Bowl Sunday. And there's this contest that they build into it with the Mountain Dews. And this melon Mountain Dew, this pink thing. So that was interesting to say the least. And then there's one more commercial. And this is where it just blew my mind, guys. This is where it just blew my mind. Let me get this set up here. Dun, da, da, da. Jeep was boring. Frito-Lay was boring. TurboTax, nothing. Indeed, Guinness, Hellman's. Here it is. All right. All right. So, get ready. Here it is. Here is the moment of truth. This is where it all came together for what we're seeing happen with the after effect of the Super Bowl and Trump. So here we go. This is Klarna, Smooth Shopping. And it's our commercial after it that we're looking at. Okay, so this is an ad for a company called 5RR, Fiverr. And I hope everybody is appreciating the scene here. Just soak it in. Is there anything that this reminds you of from earlier in our presentation that I've taken a couple of opportunities to point out all of the different hallmarks in the scene? I hope this makes sense. I hope I don't have to point this out to anybody, but I'll just do it anyway. Aha! Uh-huh! Aha! Oh yeah, it's the same place, everybody. It's the exact same place. And this commercial, of course, 5RR, there's the V steganography. And that's why I said it was funny that it railroaded me, the RR. That really wasn't an intended pun. That's why I thought, again, recalling back to earlier in the presentation, now you can have a good laugh at my pun that I was laughing with myself only at the time about. But let's take a look. This is just the craziest thing to me ever. It's the exact same spot. The 432 icon is even up there in the diamond. So here we go. 5RR. Small Biz Goes Big Sunday. And you guys saw in there was like a little Tesla truck is what that was. There's like a Cybertruck in there. And there was like this tunnel in there from the Cybertruck. And that is going to tie in to the Mars rituals and crap as well. Unbelievable.
Unbelievable. This company's called Fiverr. Fiverr. I actually should punch them in. Actually, I didn't do gematria on them. Shame on me. Fiverr. Oh, there's another 84 and 39. Another 84 and 39. Remember, it was 36, 37, 38, 39. So 5, like the V steganography RR. Red ribbon? Like Dragon Ball Z, the Red Ribbon Army? 5RR is simply a professional services website for gig workers, is what it is. So I don't know what this actually has to do with the gig working economy, but I think that the governmental layer to administrate and adjudicate your payment, like the IRS is usually what covers all of the W-2s and all the legalities and all the paperwork to get hired. 5RR, as far as I was looking into it, eliminates this stuff. So if this is a Templar design thing, it would actually go along with a services-based industry that gig workers can actually step into, sans a bank, and get paid in what? Bitcoin? Can you get paid through Bitcoin in this service? It eliminates the traditional job search criteria and all that crap. It streamlines the future. It's actually kind of a cool invention, and here we are showing that the Tesla Cybertruck is a toy as well. That was what was hilarious about that, was that Tesla Cybertruck was a toy. But it's hiding our future, guys. It's hiding our future because it's hiding our past. So, going back to the gematria real quick, tying this all up, 5RR is 42, like slavery. 84 is also CB, Cameron Braitz, number 84. I think Cameron Braitz, or no, I forgot what the guy's name is. Bates? Is it Bates? I forgot what the guy's name is that caught the trophy. Cameron, I think it's over. Cameron Brait, no S. Cameron Brait. There it is. 74, 52, 115. Anyway, the gematria is all here, guys. If you really want to get down to it, and again, here's the transition moment for why it matters the most. Nazi, Eagles, Jesuits, Satan. Ooh, look at these ones. 22s and 50, 22, 22, 22. Got to use the V against them, guys. Remember, they've used the lambda against us. Got to use the V against them so we break out of our Stockholm syndrome, because they've always used the lambda against us with mind control. It's just Stanley Kubrick talked about with Clockwork Orange, okay? I've gone over these concepts before, but the history of our past and what the ancient Celts wrote in the Picatrix, of an alchemical manual of sorts to teach us about the signs and symbols in our environment, and studying the history of the ancient origins of civilization that came from an Irish offshoot of the Aryans from Mars, we start to see all of what is in plain sight with us, guys. So, further than that, that's what we know from the 37s. Now we were going to take a look at the 38s, because we got the 38s and the 39s. And starting with Vincent Jackson. Remember the John Cena count from 30, 33, 34, 35. Skip 36, 37, 38, 39. Interesting, because in the skip of 36, in skipping 36, guess who hosted Wrestlemania for 36? Rob Gronkowski. When he skipped the season, Rob Gronkowski hosted WrestleMania 36. He didn't play in the NFL last year. He skipped the season. Look at this. June 22nd, 2020 is when it was announced.
or back when it was last updated. But this is where we're at. So what happened just recently? Oop, hold on just a sec here. I think I lost. Oh yeah, just a sec here. My hold on, guys. My video switcher just crapped on me. Just a moment, just a moment. Dun da da da. Yeah, something happened with my video switcher here. So dun da da da. Let's see. Oh yeah. And a phone call coming in. Well, I'm going to have to naturally splice this out because, bear with me, guys. Bear with me. I'm going to have to edit this either way from a raw file into an MP4. So, it's my video switcher that crapped out on me here. There we go. All right. Okay, hard cut, everybody. Total technical difficulties and failure. I think last we left off, we were on this screen here, and then the stream failed. So, classic Mercury retrograde stuff. But what I was intending to do before I experienced all that stuff was transition away from the Wrestlemania stuff and into what it is hiding. And this, of course, what are the secrets revealed that all of the gematria tables that we had to, of course, rebuild. Hidden history, secrets revealed, everything related to the silver effect and the reset, the Vesica Pisces with the football shape, all these things with the Jolly Roger as well. We've got a long history on this channel of going over with the V steganography, what the Templars hide with these gematria codes and steganography symbols, all the way from the V for Vendetta myth all the way through to the current Jolly Roger representation and the Mayflower and the V-Day and all the stuff I went over earlier and showed with that New Jerusalem video. So it's all there, and what it is, of course, what the Templars hold. The truth of Christ is what they hold, but they also hold beyond the truth of Christ, the much more ancient mysteries, the mysteries of humanity that are our story. And that's what I was about to come into with the 37 and into the 38 numerology, was not the Templar secrets of Christ necessarily, but what are the secrets of humanity pertaining to, as we've talked about on this channel, Mars. Triple H gifted the Tampa Bay Buccaneers with a custom belt. Let's put Triple H in here. So you can see that they've got the 24 and the 24 from earlier on in the ritual components. With a New Jerusalem video has the 24, of course, at the heart of the Kobe Bryant ritual. And that's all part of the history mystery as well. But as you guys might find out next year, April 3rd, Wrestlemania is in the Lone Star State. We've got the pentagram here. It's a blue pentagram, but the pentagram next year at AT&T Stadium. That had a lot to do with Batman in year one, as we talked about in the last Patreon video. And then finally, it's rescheduled for Hollywood on April 2nd, 2023, which it was supposed to be this year. So they moved all this docket around. Why? Well, to line up for Super Bowl 55. The Vincent Jackson story broke, and I'm going to take you guys through our Patreon Discord channel to show you some of the symbolism and steganography we were decoding live as this came out. But this story did break not too long after the Super Bowl was over. It was yesterday that we were going over all of this, and a V-Day death is what was presumed. The V-Day being, of course, the 14th. Of course, Vincent Jackson was only 38 years old. And as we point out in the Discord channel, death equals 38 in Gematria, Masonic equals 38, and moon equals 38 in Hebrew. So the Masonic ritual death on a moon day, died on a moon day. So beyond this stuff, we were starting to get a lot of these rituals down with the numerology components. And what I want everybody to see is this aspect. This aspect here. If we go to the Gematria tables, Trump, 88, 25, 47. He's connected, of course, with all of the other reset rituals at stake right now. Where are all the 88s? I had them all lined up a lot better before this. In the last, before we had to reset, the stream, I had him lined up with all the 88s, as you guys saw. But not to mention, he's the 45th president of the United States. And at the end of the game, what we saw, of course, and went over in the Discord channel, was that number 45 ended the game with an interception. It was tweeted after the game, along with Tom Brady with their MAGA, Make America Great Again stuff, and the hats and such. And promptly those tweets were taken off Twitter. But Donald Trump has been in the WWE ring before, guys. Donald Trump has been in the WWE ring before. And remember his astrology in that New Jerusalem video. I mentioned, I'd also said I don't think he was going to be the president. But he would be coming back to power, just like his astrology sign said. And he's a Leo, just like we're going into the age of Leo. And Joni Petrie, at the time, was also showing this with his Vedic chart, that this would be the case. We have the perfect Super Bowl after-show ritual taking place on April 11th and the 10th, a 2-day ritual. Now, is Donald Trump going to show up at Wrestlemania 37 and continue with the Secrets Revealed components and enter into the ring like he has been in the past, the reality TV president playing for the Templars? I think that's what we could be looking at here, guys. I really think that's what we could be looking at here. So what would happen after this? Because the financial system collapse, of course, is supposed to be happening as we speak. The silver is supposed to be coming apart. I think this is what Tom Brady's showing with the tossing of Vince Lombardi trophy and all of this. But we also have here we have the 3 TBs. The 3 TBs. I also forgot to show this. Templar Brotherhood, Tampa Bay, and Tom Brady. Thanks for S4 Quattro Bob's component, additive component, or rather contribution. So we have all this stuff lining up, and we have the history mystery being unveiled underneath us, and the death of the old system. I think that's potentially what we're being told with this Vincent Jackson ritual with the 33, 38, and 83. And as we're also remembering the John Cena counting from 37 to 38 to 39. Okay? So as we look at some of this stuff, I want you to watch a couple of minutes of Zach's presentation around Vincent Jackson, because he goes a lot better than I do into the numerology components of this. So here, I'll I'll actually switch it to here. And we'll do it this way. All right.
February 15th, 2021. It's being reported today that former NFL player Vincent Jackson found dead in a Florida hotel at age 38. And he played for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers as well as the San Diego Chargers. And, of course, the Buccaneers just won the Super Bowl on the 38th day of the year, February 7th, 2021. If you're new here, we're going to talk about gematria, the practice of coding numbers into words. And as I explain almost daily, 38 is a really bad number when you're in the entertainment industry. And you know what? Just to make a point, just let me play a few seconds of a video yesterday about the death of 38-year-old Nicki Minaj's father.
From Nicki's 38th birthday, that deadly age, if you're not dying yourself, the people in your family are when you're a celebrity. But from her 38th birthday to the death...
By the way, guys, Nikola Tesla, unfortunately, I think he was killed too. Because as you'll see, as you will see, 38. 38. Yeah, he's got that one known 9 in his name, but that 38. That 38. I think he was killed. I'm pretty convinced that he was.
Of her father, they're saying he died February 12th, this past Friday. That was her 67th day of her age. And he died on 12/2, like 122. Remember, those are big numbers with the Satanic Church and the Satanic Jesuit cabal that runs the world of entertainment, government, and media. But Satanic's got that gematria of 67 forwards, 122 in reverse. And then, of course, blood sacrifice and human sacrifice, 67 in the most pure cipher, the alphabetic order of the rules of numerology. Covered these patterns a million times. Her father died on a date with 35 and 55 numerology, numbers of Satan, which we just talked about in the ritual with Tom Brady.
Okay, so anyway, that's a little bit of yesterday's video, and it's played at a faster speed to save time.
So as you guys can see, death equals 25, 25 with Trump, death of the old system, 5 by 5, 5 times 5. All these things are playing in. We did the gematria game earlier in the video, so we don't need to go past anything other than what Zach's got to say
But
here.
Again, just 38, such a deadly number. And words like death and murder have gematria of 38. Again, if you're new here, gematria is just based on the alphabetic order, forwards and backwards, changing letters to numbers. Very simple. And again, that movie out there, Murder by Numbers, if you look at that movie poster, the words, only the E's changed to the 3, the B to the 8, 3,
This is
8,
wild.
8, 3.
Yeah.
Again, murder has the gematria of 38 and 83. The song Murder by Numbers by the Police, where killing's the sport of the elite, and they explain it simple as ABC 1, 2, 3. That song came out in 83. Vincent Jackson wore the number 83 for the Buccaneers as well. And again, the star of
Killing.
Murder by
Death.
Numbers is Sandra Bullock, whose name equals
R.I.P.
83. The words killing, death, R.I.P. They're all 38. Gematria is the practice of coding numbers into
Gematria
words.
and
There's
English.
a song out there.
You guys see how important 38 is? It's the English language. It's gematria. It's a big spell. Kabbalah is 38. And at the end of it, guess what was the 38th day of the year? The Super Bowl this year was on the 38th day of the year, February 27th. So there's a 27 and a 38 there. So there's a lot going on with 38. Okay. Vincent Jackson dies. We have the bolts as well, meaning the energy components. Vincent, his name is Vincent, and how Mike Evans called him V-Jax. V-Jax. If you go look at gematria, oh yeah, there's a 24 in that too. Triple H. There's 57 and a 24, just like V-Jax, just like Triple H. So as you can see, this is all tied in to the WrestleMania 37 ritual. Okay. Now, what's interesting about 39? And this is pulling up Zach's old blog to show you some interesting numbers where John Cena ended his count with 39, as you remember. Values that equal 39 are George Clinton, 10, the number 10. So 10 is, of course, tied to 55, as we showed. 55 is the 10th triangular and prime. So 10 is 39. Madison is 39. United States of America is 339. The great, here we go, Big Ben, Clockwork, just like Clockwork Orange and the mind control that we showed with of course, the Lambda. Like clockwork, controlling your mind like clockwork. All with this practice of gematria, right? So he also shows Empire is 39. The Empire is collapsing under the eclipse ritual. So Billy Joel has this. Billy Joel equals 39, and he did, and this is what he's covering, of course, is the Billy Joel concert when he did this Yellow Star of David Merkaba on his chest here. So I'm just showing. I pulled up an older story to show you guys how closely related 39 is even to the banking reset ritual, and what we were showing in Washington, D.C. from this video. The New Jerusalem and Earth's Hidden Destiny, which, of course, I will link below again. So, the history. The history mystery is coming out. And what do we have but Elon Musk going on the Joe Rogan Experience and talking about that very thing. And I'm actually, I was going to show more of this video, and maybe it's a blessing that you guys don't have to listen to most of this, because it just shows you how much of an idiot he is. I could only actually watch, as you guys can see, look, it's funny, I didn't even plan on this, but 88 minutes. That's where I've started this. Oh my God, I didn't even plan on that. I stopped watching it at 88 minutes, exactly. How about that? Because he's talking about the rocket paradigm and how they're going to Mars and they can't go to Mars regularly and all this stuff. And the only thing I'm going to share with this, because he's talking about, I'm looking at my notes. You guys got to labor through this thing yourself. He says nothing noteworthy, except that they haven't been to Mars because they consistently with the new civilization, because it's hard to calculate when to get there when it goes behind the sun. And remember, Mars never goes behind the sun. At 32 minutes in, Elon says there aren't any new physics, and so the expansion of our new sciences will be slow. At 32 minutes in, that's a really crazy thing to say when the ether paradigm is coming out, right? And then he also says that gas and rockets will be the top tech that we're able to conceive for ourselves in the future. 15 minutes in, if you guys want to look at that. That's an interesting thing that he says. And he also said at 28 minutes in, he's the expert. He would know. He would know if there are aliens. He would know. He would absolutely know. So he also purports some really ridiculous theories around sun science at 40 minutes in that we don't need to get into. And then they talk about the mind control, the Tesla orbiting car. But for purpose of where the Tom Brady stuff is today, because that's really all we care about is getting back to the Tom Brady's ridiculousness with the sea shanties, as you remember, as you might be able to remember. Let me see this one. Yeah, the sea shanty video. Here we go. Let me pull it back up from earlier. And then for everybody watching, where they mentioned the sea shanties about halfway through here, they were like, "Yeah, they're really great with the kids. Oh, don't worry, I can't be looking old." I forgot where it was. They were mentioning the sea shanties in this video. And the sea shanties have become synonymous with Bitcoin. Well, Elon mentions the sea shanties. Let's give it a listen here.
Called Polytopia. I would say that's my top recommendation for any game in the car is play Polytopia.
What is that?
Talking about playing games in a Tesla.
It's a real fun strategy game. You'll see. Like, just it's the top of the list.
This is not something you can play while you're driving.
Well, I mean, you're not supposed to play it while you're driving. That would be illegal.
God. But will it work while you're on autopilot? So if you're on autopilot, can you also play chess?
Well, you have to tap a button that says you're the passenger.
Oh.
Kind of like Waze.
Okay. Kind of like Waze. Yeah, so it's open for interpretation. So if you are some chess freak, you could literally play chess on your way to work.
Yeah.
Wow.
This is the way the interview went, guys.
In the future,
it was ridiculous.
As the car becomes more and more autonomous.
As the car becomes more and more autonomous. Like, this is literally how the thing goes. But I think I tagged it correctly. Here he's talking about sea shanties, like, right along here.
Autonomous. It's going to be really about entertainment. Entertainment, productivity.
Yeah.
So it's just...
It's going to be about entertainment.
Entertainment first and foremost, and then productivity.
Yeah.
Do you
Not
have
engineering or
specific
anything.
things that you
Entertainment's
do
going to be
on your
the
way?
way of
Do
the
you
future.
listen to books on tape? Do you listen to music? Like,
here he goes.
Yeah, I usually listen to music.
Here it is.
oh, those fucking pirate songs.
The pirate songs.
The sea shanties?
The sea shanties. See?
I thought you were joking about that until you played them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then
Pretty catchy.
They're pretty catchy. That's what's crazy. I started researching sea
They get stuck in your
shanties.
head.
I did not know that it was really a thing.
Yeah, I didn't.
Yeah.
Anyway. There you go, guys. Joe Rogan Experience. Enthralling interviews with world leader, with world powerhouse thought leaders like Elon Musk. Usually Joe has better guests on than Elon Musk. The spectacle of the man is what gets people to watch this. And I think Joe, unfortunately, doesn't really understand what's going on either there. For better or for worse. But anyway, let's get this turned off there. The sea shanties, the Bitcoin reset, all this stuff with Tesla, unveiling the truth. These are the things that you guys should watch out for. So 15 minutes in, Elon says rockets will never invent anything beyond rockets. It's the best we got. 28 minutes in, he says he would know if they're aliens because he's the expert. 32 minutes in, there are no new physics that we can expand upon. 40 minutes in, he's espousing the most ridiculous science I've ever heard around the sun. And, of course, 57 minutes in, they're talking about this orbiting Tesla car. Beyond 88 minutes, I don't know where the interview goes, guys. I had enough of listening to the drivel of this man, and I turned it off. So you guys are welcome. You guys are welcome to keep watching it. But the only thing we care about is that he's saying that he can't go to Mars. Really? Really? Well, remember, guys, we have our grounding in reality that shows us that the Irish origins of civilization lead back to Mars. That our ancient ancestors, if you're a white person anyway, came from Mars. Okay? Our ancient ancestry. All these books that I have right here, which we don't have any time to get into all of, but I've referenced all in the past, the Antarctica history and Nazis and Dark Mission, the secret history of NASA, the monuments on Mars, they all lead, plus the Mandalorian decodes, they all lead us with the V-steganography to the conclusion that there was a massive war on Mars that blew it away, and that what we're looking at is a race to get back to the homeworld, just like Mandalore. So how are we doing in this conquest? Well, that's what I aim to find out here with you guys. These Atlantis Rising magazines are some of the best things you can possibly get. I mean, they have these little articles in here that, why is the Martian sky blue, is what they're asking, is the premise here. And the reason I'm pulling this up is because if we truly are in a race to get back to Mars, who's to say that the Nazis didn't beat us there a long time ago? If the Nazis beat us down in Antarctica, like we're talking about the Admiral Byrd saga, kicking the butt, getting his butt kicked by the Nazis, it's also not to say that the Nazis haven't been on the moon for a really long period of time. This is what I think that we're seeing with shows like For All Mankind. Season 2 premieres on the 19th. What I think is being shared with us in series like this is what actually kept happening in secret after they took the public NASA programs offline.
circa 1973-74 with the Voyager spacecraft. What did NASA keep doing? And who was the other on the moon? It wasn't the Soviets. There was an other on the moon in this series, and we haven't yet found out, and I hope that in Season 2 we do find out. The Lambdas and the Vs are all over this show, by the way. Werner von Braun is a main character, for God's sakes. Get out of here. The Saturn V rocket. All that stuff that they've covered in this show. It's an alternate history show that is supposedly taking creative liberty about what the United States could have done had they kept up with their NASA program. It's not like they sat on their thumbs for a while, guys. What did NASA keep doing in the dark budgets? Okay. So all these things are coming out in a way that suggest moon, then Mars, and that the Nazis beat us to both places. And if the Nazis beat us back to Mars and they had all this etheric technology back in the 40s and 50s, what's to say that they can't terraform a planet? Well, oops, that's where this comes in. That's where this comes in. And that's where I'm going to get into what is on Mars and what is being included. Not only just in Antarctica, guys, but what's actually down in the dirt in the moon and on Mars. So all of the Templar reset stuff that we see with the Super Bowl, we're finally going to get answers to what has been hidden for so long and what the history of Atlantis covers up. Just a Cat Mom, have you guys watched Robert Sepper? Of course, we watch Robert Sepper over here on this channel. Robert Sepper is one of the great anthropological minds of today that is thinking outside the box. I hope to meet the man someday. I haven't written the works that he has or spent the time that he has on the scholarly end of it to get published or anything. But I consider myself two peas in a pod with the guy. I'm in alignment with what he's doing. So anyway, into Atlantis Rising. We're just going to get into this. Let me get my mic pulled over here. So the main story is, in this magazine, is why is the Martian sky blue? Okay? And the main thing of the article, and we're not going to read through this whole thing, but they've done some treatments here. They've taken Curiosity rover images, and quite frankly, they've just untreated the image from the filter that's been applied to it, because you can do this with editing software. You can back up whatever the manipulation was and is with the thing, with the photo that you're rendering, and you can see what the original image looks like. So what the Curiosity rover seems to show us when it gives us back whatever photos that are allowed to make it through are things like this. And the sky, as you can see, is blue. As well as some curious stuff from Hubble telescope images from late. This is back in 2018? 2016. That this magazine is now no longer in print, guys. It's a shame. But this is the Hubble telescope image looking past Mars, as of right now, and it looks awful blue, doesn't it? It's awful blue. So what's going on up here? What the heck is going on? We don't have a Hubble telescope-esque piece of equipment to where we can confirm this for ourselves. We have chintzy stuff here on the Earth, but we do have these optics from the machines, plus others looking into what's hidden underneath here to suggest what it is that may or may not have been up there at some point. This is why the Cydonia region is so important. Cydonia region, of course, over here, the book, The Monuments of Mars, by Richard C. Hoagland. Read his other book, Dark Mission, The Secret History of NASA. You'll get a complete picture about this stuff. There's a reason why NASA's covering some of this up, guys. It is our history, and they don't want you to know about it. But not only are we looking at potential evidence for terraforming happening in this basically piece of this article, but later in the article, back part of the book, look at some of these other images that they're pulling off of Mars. Look at this. if you truly look at this, and this even at high res, the image isn't really getting it done justice. I can't get it pulled up to the camera. But you guys see basically down there. I hope that you notice these are constructed or remnants of foundations, of walls, of pieces of building, of something in this area down here. And then up here, you have these tree structures growing, or plant-esque things growing out of the desert environment, this red desert environment. These are all from captured NASA photographs. You've got these seeming desert areas blending in with these other forested areas. What's going on up there? What the heck is going on up at Mars? I'll read this article at some point out loud when we've got a little bit more time, and we didn't couple it with other numerology pieces of the presentation, guys. But that's just some food for thought. This same article, where is it? They're talking about the expanding Earth in this article. The shaken planet and what earthquakes have to do with our geology. Samuel Warren Carey's theories of the Earth and universe, as we've talked about. And then in this one, they ask what could be on the moon. Skipped it. Oops. What could be on the moon? And the main thing that they connect with this is that they're doing these sonar images, and they're finding these, what they're calling lava tubes. They're calling these things lava tubes. And they're these things that they've scanned for on Mars and on the moon. Oh, and that they can find all sorts of different potential for people living there, or quarters being on the moon. And we all know that the moon is hollow. And is it possible that, of course, that there are tunnels in here that are being used to travel about, potentially? In my eyes, the moon is an arc that came here from Mars originally in that ancient war. Nazis, if they're there on Mars, terraforming it in, probably bypassed the moon entirely and used it as a way station, or continue to use it as the dark side of the moon as a base of sorts, I would guess. Is this why the Chinese are so interested in it, right? All of these things are becoming apparent to us. All of these things are becoming apparent to us. What's more is that they're envisioning, in the rest of this article, the building out of bases in craters to harvest for water. And why is that important? Well, because as my supposition goes, with this series here, that's kind of the premise for this whole series, is that they're looking in the craters for water. So the craters for the water can be turned into oxygen, it can be turned into fuel, blah, 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 because the hydrogen can become a flammable gas. This is what they're talking about in this show, but the Nazis, if they're doing any of this, operate on field theory. And they're not operating on these old antiquated propulsion models. But it is an interesting artifact to show in plain sight what has likely been going on for some time. So Atlantis Rising Magazine. Again, if you are at the $15 Patreon level, you can actually access all of my work that I've accumulated over the years. In all of the books, there are 1,247 different articles of whatever in here, pieces of analysis, reports, actual full-fledged books, and then in the magazine section below the images, so you can see it. Let me just scroll in for effect, so everybody can see. The Atlantis Rising magazines are down here. I have most of them. Though I have a lot of them in hard copy, and then I have most of the digital copies here. But lots of Atlantis, Templar mystery stuff that we actually, I would do well to go back through and look at myself.
I would do well to go research a lot of the Atlantis Rising stuff that I just haven't had the time lately to go back through and apply the V steganography to it. But that is why it's there. Everybody can, in the $15 level in Patreon, can access that. So, anyway, moving on. We're getting to the end of the presentation. What I intended to show you guys here, just some more things that are popping out in the news, essentially, with this history mystery unveiling. Antarctica bombshell. NASA baffled after snapping something rising above the ice. Right? I shared this in the Discord. But there's some sort of a ridge line breaking the ice. And the analysis to why this is an anomaly and why it's not natural is something you should read up on. Put that in the description below, and then I'll also put the new explanation for alignment of ancient sites, which is a paper that came out late last year, in the description. But also at the $5 level, everybody over on the Discord has been discussing all of the things relating to the space aliens and ancient Earth history anomalies that are coming out with these Templar rituals. The Pentagon admits holding testing wreckage from UFOs. The ancient discovered cities in the Australian desert, dark side of the moon images, hidden U.S. space bases in Antarctica, which I suspect, of course, are connected to our ancient past and Mars. China and Dubai both heading to Mars with their own spacecrafts. Here's the story I just pointed out. Aliens sucking energy from black holes. Sunken Atlantis pyramids discovered off shores of Portugal. Guys, this is just in the last 3 weeks. Harvard astronomer says solar system teeming with life. I mean, you name it. This is all the stuff we're talking about over in the Discord channel, and it's how we're finding confirmation, of course, on what these rituals mean for us in year 1, 2021, as these secrets get revealed, and as the money system continues to collapse, and as the history continues to be revealed through, of course, the confirmation of this Super Bowl reset ritual relating to the winter solstice. What's more, well, this is this actually is pretty cool. If anybody hasn't heard, the Keystone Pipeline is now shut down under the Biden administration. This is important because of the Keystone rituals. Remember the Keystone rituals also relating back to this video, New Jerusalem and Earth's Hidden Destiny. You can find this over on my Theta page. Right here. New Jerusalem and Earth's Hidden Destiny, once more. And then couple that with the year 1 ritual from the last video we did. See what's going on with the 4th turning. But anyway. The Keystone Pipeline is no longer. The Keystone Pipeline is no longer. So another Keystone ritual taken out, just like the Pennsylvania Keystone State, to indicate the reset. This is happening, guys. As a reminder, silver is the most suppressed asset on the planet. Silver is still the most suppressed asset on the planet relative to all other market caps of things. In all actuality, silver, as a valuation of $50 billion at the time that this was made, is probably about doubled. But it is got to eat all this value in stock markets and money supply and global debt. Cryptos are going to have a lot to do with this, of course, as well. But what will be left of the system that laid before it? We'll have friction. We'll have a frictionless path into the future. We'll have no choice but to uncover our past so we can chart a course for the future. And we will get an unbridled access to the technology that's been built that might be the very stuff that's terraforming Mars already. And we're going to have to boot people like Elon to the side, guys. We're going to have to boot people like Elon to the side. And in all honesty, we got to stop paying attention to these Super Bowls too. We got to stop having them. We've got to do better ritual. We've got to put things into place in a way that enlightens people and doesn't keep them in this entertainment realm, because that's not what it's about. So let's crash these derivatives. All this derivative debt bomb. Let's crash it. Let's get it the hell out of our lives. Let's move on from it. Because this money printing fiasco is just going to keep going. It's just going to keep going. So if I show the divergence of it again here. Boom. Bitcoin price, interest rate. And then the entire the entire trajectory for our stimulus. If we continue to get stimulus checks in the amount of these $1,400, you can just forget about the money system even quicker. Will we even get to that point? I don't know. It's going to be a rough next couple weeks, guys, but I'm there with you to ride it out. It's an interesting time for us to be alive, because what's going to happen is we're all going to get to go dig in the dirt together. We're all going to get access to ancient texts together, and we're all going to have the money to exist, because I think everybody that's at least watching these videos at this point is well enough prepared to face what they have coming. But anyway, that's kind of what I've got for you today, guys. I wanted to draw this out a little bit further, but I'm going to save some of this stuff for another video. Ultimately, just to give you a preview, I'll show you what I was going to basically. Oh, I know one.
Very in touch.
There was this Gigi Young and DJ video that I was going to show that ties everything up. I'm not going to do that, but I will show one more thing from Mars. And everybody should go watch this guy's channel. It's Mars Anomalies and Beyond. But this guy brings out the hellscape of Mars and brings out all the detail that you can't see in the regular rover photos. But if you see what I'm seeing here, you see buildings, you see structures, you see a big terminal or a bay or a hangar or something. And these buildings are blown away in an ancient time from an explosion. And he finds even more interesting stuff than this guy's. He's got years and years of videos that go back and chronicle all of the stuff that's on Mars. If you guys want to go geek out, I'll link his description, his videos in the description below too.
Look at this.
Because he's also going down to Antarctica and doing the same. And he's also got another one, Lunar Anomalies and Beyond. So he's got Mars Anomalies and Beyond and Lunar Anomalies and Beyond as two separate YouTube channels. And I think we're going to have some overlap in our research with him, like we have in the past, but even more in the future, in the times to come too. But the stuff from the Gigi Young and DJ video is steganographic in nature, and I will be sure to bring this about in my next video. But that'll probably be something related to the finance too. This will go up on YouTube. Like I said, guys, you can join my Patreon if you would like. You can, at the $5 level, have access to the Discord server that we've shown and talk to our community in there, solve things with the V-steganography. I myself will be taking Allison's baton and doing these presentations, the bonus material presentations, until the summertime gets here. And this will be me whiteboarding with you. So in addition to these presentations, you guys can expect shorter whiteboard videos to come out on various topics that are going to be 30 to 45 minutes a piece instead of an hour and a half to 2.5 to 3 hours sometimes a piece. And then, of course, if you guys were looking at the Evernote server with all of those books and such, you get access to those materials at the $15 level. Find my Patreon videos moving forward over on Brighteon, as this one will be the only public one that I post over to YouTube. You can find those on Brighteon. In the private section, I'll post those to the patrons. You'll be able to access those. And then come join our Free to Find Truth Steganography and Symbolism Lab group. And we'll start working a little bit more with the Gematria folks over there and cross-pollinating our knowledge, like I said. So that is that, guys. I wish everybody a wonderful rest of the week. You'll probably see me one more time over on YouTube with one or two things. And then next week, I'll do another Patreon presentation for you guys. In the meantime, I'll edit this together so it flows nicely with the first one. And sorry for that hiccup at Mercury retrograde style. Keep going with this with your V-steganography, guys. Stay sharp. And we will come out on the other side of this reset ritual, maybe by the time WrestleMania gets here. And if Trump is in WrestleMania, boy, are we really going to have some confirmation. Talk to you guys soon.